Okay, thank you. So প্রথমেই আমরা দুঃখিত, সবার কাছে ক্ষমা প্রার্থী। আমাদের somehow আমাদের লিঙ্কটা একটু কাজ করছিল না, টেকনিক্যাল ফল্ট হয়েছিল। সো আমরা খুবই ক্ষমা প্রার্থী সবার কাছে, সমস্ত পার্টিসিপেন্টদের কাছে। সৌরকান্তি দাস এবং আমাদের প্রিন্সিপাল স্যারও আছেন। স্যার, আমরা উই আর সরি ফর দ্যাট, আমাদের একটা টেকনিক্যাল ফল্ট হয়েছিল, সেই কারণে আমাদের দেরি হলো। সো স্যার, উইথ
স্পিকার কি জয়েন করেছে?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, স্পিকার মিস্টার সৌরকান্তি দাস উনি আমাদের সঙ্গে জয়েন করেছেন, উনি আছেন আমাদের সঙ্গে। হ্যাঁ, উনি অলরেডি চলে এসেছেন, উনি আমাদের সঙ্গেই আছেন। মিস্টার দাস, ক্যান ইউ হিয়ার আস? মিস্টার দাস, Mr. Sholokanti Das, can you hear us? Can you listen to us, Mr. Das? Hello, Mr. Das, আপনি আছেন না আমাদের সঙ্গে? মিস্টার দাস, আপনি কি শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? আপনি আছেন আমাদের সঙ্গে, আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি। মিস্টার দাস, সৌরকান্তি দাস, আপনি আনমিউট করুন। হ্যাঁ, আপনি ক্যান ইউ হিয়ার আস? ক্যান ইউ? হ্যালো, ইয়েস, ইউ আর অডিবল। প্লিজ আপনার ভলিউমটা একটু বোধহয় বাড়াতে হবে।
জাস্ট আ মিনিট।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, ইটস ওকে। So students, we are here today for a webinar on the topic how to use social media as a marketing tool. For this webinar with us, it is better. Hello, yes, Mr. Das, আপনি শুনতে পাচ্ছেন তো? মিস্টার দাস, সৌরকান্তি দাস,
আমি শুনতে পাচ্ছি।
ওকে ওকে ওকে, আমি আপনাকে করছি। আমাদের প্রিন্সিপাল স্যার আছেন, আমি আপনার সঙ্গে একটু ইন্ট্রোডিউস করিয়ে দিই স্যারের। আমাদের প্রিন্সিপাল স্যার প্রফেসর ডক্টর মৃণালকান্তি চক্রবর্তী স্যার ইজ উইথ আস। তো আমি একটু আমাদের স্যারের সঙ্গে এবং স্টুডেন্টদের সঙ্গে আপনাকে একটু পরিচয়টা করিয়ে দিই। So, students, Mr. Sholokanti Das is with us today. He is a Marketing Alliance and Analyst Relations Manager at TCS. Today, he will deliver a lecture. On how to use social media as a marketing tool. Hope you will be benefited from that lecture. And now I will request our principal sir, respected principal sir, to say something. স্যার, আপনি কিছু বলুন, আপনি পারমিশন দিলে আমরা শুরু করব ওয়েবিনারটা।
Okay. Good evening to all. Mr. S.K. Das, sorry for the delay. There is some technical problem in our head office, that is why we cannot start in time. Don't take it seriously. Okay. These topics, I will not spend just 1 minute because already we are late. Your valuable time is already spent. Now, Mr. Das, you have choose a wonderful topic, how to use social media as an effective marketing tool in this pandemic situation. Now, we do not know when the pandemic will finish. Not only this year, but at the middle of the coming years, I hope. Because there is no vaccine. So we have to move through online teaching, online seminar, webinar, and everything. So I hope your lecture will encourage our students uh, to be more business oriented mentality for effective marketing. Whatever they produced in their house or in their uh, uh, with their friends, it may be effective from your lectures. So I cannot waste time. So please start. Thank you.
So, Mr. Das, you can start. Yes.
So is my voice audible?
Yes, your voice is audible, no problem. If it is possible, please just increase the voice little bit.
Is it good now?
Yes, it's okay. You start, sir, please.
Okay. So thank you everyone and hello. Good evening. So it's really nice to be here, right? And thank you Techno India Hooghly and Sir Avik sir and Meenal sir for inviting me here. So our today's topic is basically on social media marketing. So to be more specific, it's how social media can be used effectively as a marketing tool. So without further delay, let's move down to the topic as we are already a bit late. So let me share my screen with you. I have some presentation here. Sir, can you please allow me to share my screen? I have a presentation. Is my voice audible now?
So, your voice is audible. I am making host, so no problem to share the screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me share my screen with you. Is my screen visible to you all?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. Okay. So let's start with it. So the thing is, our topic for today. So is my voice audible? Because I think there is some technical issue there.
No, it is okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You
So,
continue.
so the topic for our today's session is how to use social media effectively as a marketing tool. Right. So here we will start with something that social media nowadays is a very popular medium. But the thing is, most of the time we all are aware about different social media platforms and everything. But the thing is, we generally use these platforms as a leisure entertainment, right? So it's not like we use it for a business or something like that. But recently, social media has become an effective tool for to increase business and to increase your business perspectives and objectives. So now in this session, we will learn how we can leverage social media and how we can use it for our business as an effective marketing tool. So here, okay. So let's start with a brief introduction about myself, as Sir has already given an introduction about me. So you all already know that my name is Saurav Kantidas, and presently I'm working as a marketing alliance manager at Tata Consultancy Services. So I will keep it short that I have almost more than 4 years of experience in the IT and consulting industry. And apart from that, I have worked for different companies like easystage.com or Imago AI. I am a BTech graduate and then I did my MBA in marketing and analytics. And apart from that, I also play the role of a guest lecturer at Narayana Business School and marketing instructor at Padhai.com. So that was a quick view of my profile. So now we will start with the question that what is social media marketing? Most of, as I told you already, that most of us are already aware of about different social media platforms. So why should we use social media marketing? The reason is that nowadays social media marketing has become an integral part of digital marketing. You all know about digital marketing and how important that is, right? So now we can say that social media marketing can be said as a subset of digital marketing. As you can see in the picture, that if all of this, the entire picture is digital marketing, then social media marketing is definitely a branch of that digital marketing tree. And how we can use it? We can use the different social media platforms to just promote our product or service. And how to do that? Now we will basically discuss that only in the next few minutes. So the first question while doing social media marketing, the first question that comes to your mind is how to choose a right social network platform. And let me tell you, that is very, very important, right? Whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, it's up to you on which social media network site that you want to be on. The thing is, you can be on all of them, but the problem there is, yeah, is my voice audible? Hello.
Yes, yes, it is audible. Okay,
Okay.
one more thing, Mr. Dash. You kindly make me host actually, otherwise I have to record and all that. Okay, you just make me host. Right now you are host. I am making host. Okay, and you continue. After that, you continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
A minute. Let me make you host. It's good now. Then. Okay. So the thing is, what I was telling.
Uh, 1 minute. Actually, make me host Rohit Chatterjee. Make me host. You just make our principal sir host. I have to record and all that. You have shared your screen, so you just continue with that.
Actually, I am not host right now. I have made him host.
Oh, अच्छा, okay, 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 okay.
That's
Right.
why.
ठीक है. अभी continue करूँ,
Okay.
continue करूँ.
So let's continue with the topic here. So okay. So what I was telling, that how to choose different social media platforms. I mean, on which network you want to be in. You can select anyone, right? And that depends on your business. What it's good for me, that doesn't mean that it will be good for you also. And you can be on in, I mean, all the networks, but the thing is, if you are on all the networks, then you, I mean, you will not be able to devote time to maintain all the profiles. So if you can give that much of time, then it's good to be on all the social media platforms. But if you have a startup and you can't afford to give that much of time, then you'll have to choose the best network for you. Now, the question that arises here is how to choose the best social media platform for your business. So, let me tell you something. Like, if your business is B2B business, if you are in the B2B industry, then LinkedIn is the best platform. Also, Twitter is also there, but typically in B2B scenario, LinkedIn does the best job. So if you are in B2B business, don't hesitate to open a LinkedIn account, or don't, I mean, always try to be on Twitter. So they are the best B2B platforms in the social media scenario. Now the next thing is, if you are in B2C business, then I don't think that LinkedIn will be that better, because if you are in B2C, Facebook does really well in the B2C scenario. Now you'll ask me that which one to choose. In B2C we have Facebook, in B2C we have Instagram, we have Snapchat. So which one to choose? So answer for this would be, if if you want to target the older demographic, then choose Facebook, because they have a huge range of older demographics. Also, they have newer demographics, but if you want to specifically target the older demographics, then go for Facebook. And if you're targeting the younger demographics, then you can choose Instagram or Snapchat. They provide a pretty good service there. Now, we have YouTube. Basically, YouTube does both the thing. I mean, it's applicable for B2B also and for B2C also, right? And the best thing about YouTube is, unlike Facebook, people do search on YouTube, right? Because you can't remember last when you have searched on Facebook last time. But we generally do a wide range of search on YouTube for different types of video. So if you can optimize your video, and if you can, I mean, get higher rank, then you will definitely get views on YouTube, irrespective of whether you have a huge subscriber or you have followers. If you don't have that, and if you manage to, I mean, if you're able to manage a higher rank, then from the search audience, you will get a huge traffic. So that's the best thing about YouTube. Now, what are the ways to promote in social media? There are basically typically two major ways. The first is the organic promotion. You can do an organic promotion, and then you can also do a paid promotion. So the thing is, you already know on which network you want to be, because which would work best for your business, right? So now you will definitely try to promote your business. Not your presence will do everything. Now you'll have to promote your business. So how to do that? There are typically two ways. The first is the organic promotion, and the second is the paid promotion. The best thing about organic promotion is that it is basically, it will not incur you any cost. It's a no cost or low cost medium. But the problem here is it's a bit time consuming. Like if you want to go for organic promotion, then you'll have to devote a lot amount of time. Now in the paid promotion part, it's less time consuming. It If you want to do it in, I mean, short time, then I think you should go for paid promotion. But the thing here, you will get it in short time, but at the cost of some money. You'll have to pay, right? So in paid promotion, you are paying something, but your ad will be, I mean, you will get the result instantly. Now, sometimes students ask me that which one to use, which one is better. So there is typically no answer for that. I mean, both are better if you can use them wisely. And if you just do a great job there, then any of the platform, I mean, any of the promotion activities will get you a huge amount of traffic. So that's the thing. You'll have to pay attention and you'll have to use them wisely. Now we'll start with this organic promotion. So the thing is, how to perform an organic promotion. So basically, there are certain, I mean, rules. I will tell you a few rules using which you can do a great job while promoting your content organically, right? So let's move on to the first. Yeah. So now you already have a rough idea on which social network to go after. And after doing that, the first thing that you need to do is to start creating content. Like, so sometimes people ask me that, yo, I don't have any friends, I don't have any following. So I mean, what should I do by creating content? So the answer for that would be, it doesn't really matter, right? So no one is gonna follow you if you don't have any content in your platform. If you have content, then you can go for followers. But if you don't have any content, then you can't do anything despite of having, I mean, a huge amount of followers. So the first thing you need to do is start creating and do it after completing your profile. It's really very important to complete your profile. Sometimes what people do, they don't complete their profile. I mean, completing profile means adding your bio, then add your email ID, business email ID. If you have any other account, then add the link to it. Also, if you have any, I mean, if you have a great photograph of your business or anything, just add it to your profile. I mean, if you are completing your profile, then you are giving your followers a reason to follow you. Without proper information, it's of no use, right? Okay. So the next thing that you need to do is to follow your competitors. So it's really very important to follow your competitors, what they are doing on social media, what content they are creating. If like sometimes people say that I don't have any competitor, it's a wrong thing, because every business has competitor, whether it's direct or it's indirect, but you have competitors. Like, let me give you an example. Like, if you are Uber and you are planning to revolutionize the taxi industry, then your competition would be the conventional taxi industry. It's an indirect competition, but still your competition is the conventional yellow taxi industry, right? So you need to follow them, what they are doing, what their activity in social media, what content is doing well for them, and what is not. So you'll get an idea on what type of content you should create. So that's, I mean, a very important thing, that follow your competitors in social media. Now, the next thing is, once you are done with that, then start to build a network. Right? It's a social network, and just because you are on computer, it doesn't mean that you will not interact with people. It's all about people. So it's all about customers. So when you are in social media, in any platform, it doesn't matter. Try to build a connection with people, and most importantly, try to help them. Try to help them out. Share valuable, I mean, information with them. Like try to create an engagement with your audience. It's really important to create an engagement. Don't be a passive follower, right? Be active on social media. Try to be engaged with your audience, and try to create a relationship, because if you can create a relationship, that will, I mean, pay you in the long term. So always try to do that. Build a connection, create an engagement, and try to maintain a relationship with your followers or subscribers, whatever it is. Now, the last step, and that is the most important thing here, is to create value. If you don't create value, then your subscriber will not, I mean, follow you. Why should I follow you if you are of no use to me? So definitely you need to create value. If you are creating a website, try to create as much value as possible as a, I mean, business owner. Don't try to go for, I mean, don't try to go for sell from the first day itself. Sometimes people do this kind of, I mean, mistake. They create a profile, and from the next day they try to sell a product. Like, I mean, people will not buy from you if you try to sell from the first day. You need to nurture your subscribers or followers or whatever it is. You need to create value for them. Then they will think that, yeah, this business is creating value for me. So if I buy from them, then I will be beneficial. I will get the benefit. So the most important thing here is to create value for your subscribers. And one more thing that I would like to tell here, that don't go for the number of followers or the number of subscribers. People make this mistake. I mean, it's a very common mistake. People try to, I mean, they rigorously try to get more and more followers, more and more subscribers. Because understand one thing, a passive subscriber, I mean, no subscriber is even better than a passive subscriber. If you don't have an active subscriber, then they don't go for it, right? Because what happens here, we'll have to understand the algorithm of any social networking site, because in the last 4 or 5 years, it has changed a lot. Because I mean, before 5 years, it was way easy to create an impact on social media. But nowadays, there are a lot of competition. You can't imagine every business is on social media. So there is a huge competition, and social networking platforms, they are basically updating their algorithms with, I mean, new logics and everything. So what happens? They don't go for your follower count. They basically go for your, I mean, your engagement rate. Now, what is engagement rate? Let me give you an example. Like you have 100 subscribers, and if you have posted, I mean, a content here and got 8 to 10 people liked it or shared it. So what the algorithm will understand that it's not a very good content. So we shouldn't promote it. So what they will do, they will decrease your reach. So they will not show that content to many people. So what will happen? You have a content, but Facebook is not showing it to different, I mean, multiple people. So your reach is very limited. And now, I mean, considering that, now if you have 20 subscribers and you have, I mean, posted a content and almost 15 to 18 people liked that content and shared it. So what the algorithm will understand, wow, that's a great content. We should promote it. So what they will do, they will, I mean, increase your reach and they will try to show your content to various other people, the friend of your friend, their friend. They will try to spread your content to many people, right? Because their algorithm is understanding that this is a great content. So always try to go for the engagement rate. like like if you have 100 subscribers, try, I mean, to get as much as like possible. Don't go for the follower count, go for the engagement rate. So that is the most important thing here. So these are all about the organic promotion thing. Now let's see some examples what big brands are doing. So if I see here, you can see this is an Facebook ad created by Zomato. So what they are doing, they are trying to, I mean, a funny content here, right? So they're just like making a memes or any funny content that people will, I mean, it will be easier for them to be engaged with. So what they are doing here. Now you can see here, this is an ad by Flipkart and Zomato. So what we are learning from here, that it is very important to make a calendar of all the events that are relevant to your audience. So that's how you are taking care of your audience. Don't forget to wish them on any event or any festival or anything. So it will be easier for them to relate with your page, right? Okay, so the next thing, yeah, you can see it here. So the thing that you need to do is try to connect with the current occurrences, okay, the current affairs. Try to, I mean, get that in your content. And I mean, what can be a better example than Amul? They are doing this thing for ages, and you can see this Amul girl and this type of posters everywhere in the internet. Or before the internet age, they used to put billboards and everything, I mean, with those type of advertisements. So they are the pioneer of these things, you can say. Now, another thing that you can do, okay, these are kind of, I mean, lessons from us, I mean, lessons for us from, I mean, the big brand. You can create contests for your fans or followers, and I mean, create a contest and give them, I mean, conduct a giveaway, give them some gifts, everything, and prizes, etc. So it will help your subscribers to get engaged with your channel or your page. So you can see it here. Now the next thing is, don't forget to add customer testimonials in your account. If you are creating a business page, then it's really very important to create customer testimonials here, because it's of tremendous use that you can see in, I mean, Flipkart or Amazon. They put, I mean, customer reviews. So the testimonials is basically reviews for business, and it's, I mean, in the business world, I mean, especially in the B2B world, it's of immense importance. So don't forget to add customer testimonials in your business account. So this was, I mean, a rough overview of the organic thing. So these are the most important things. There are plenty of things that you can do here, but these are basically the most important things that I have put on here. So now we will go to the next topic, that is the paid advertising. Like, so a paid advertising, that I have already told you that this is basically the major source of revenue for different social media networking sites like Facebook, like LinkedIn. So they get their most of the revenue from this paid advertising. So what they do here, it is basically the media advertisements that you show on TV, television, or print media. That is basically the digitized form of that. Right. So what they do, you will pay you. They, I mean, you need to pay them an amount. You need to pay them some money for your advertisement, and they will show your advertisement to their audience network. And how that works. So the thing is, as I told you earlier, that we have a limit of time limit there. So I can't discuss all the social networking platforms and how, I mean, paid advertising works there. So I have chosen Facebook only here. So basically, as you know, Facebook is the most popular, I mean, social networking site right now in terms of audience and engagement. So I have chosen Facebook only here. So I have chosen up to Facebook advertising there. And now let's start with it. So the thing is, this is basically an information that you can get from here, that over 260 million people are active on Facebook in India. And that's a huge network, right? That's a huge audience network. And if you are doing a business, you would definitely try to tap that audience. It's really important for you. Now, how to do that? That's the most important thing. And how the Facebook ad auction works. So you have, I hope you have, I mean, heard the term Facebook auction, ad auction. So how it works? So let me tell you that. So that is basically your Facebook ad ranking will be, I mean, they determine your ranking from three factors. The first factor is the bid, how much you are bidding for one advertisement. How much bid, as I can say that if you are paying 10 rupees and I am paying 15 rupees, then basically they will give preference to me and they will show my ad. I mean, my ad ranking will be, I mean, better than me. So the first thing that is important here is the bid that you are placing. We will discuss it further later. Also, the placement. Where do you want to place your ad? Do you want to place in the newsfeed, or do you want to place your ad in, I mean, the audience network or in Instagram? That depends. As you know that Facebook and Instagram, the ad works, I mean, together. So in the Facebook ads manager, you can also put that ad on Instagram, as Instagram is a part of Facebook. So the thing is, placement is also important. Where do you want to place your ad? And the final thing, that is the relevance score. So the Facebook, I mean, algorithm, they calculate a relevance score from the content that you are putting, right? So that relevance score, you have nothing to do with that. What you need to do is to, I mean, create valuable content so that the algorithm, I mean, finds it relevant and your relevance score is high. So that is important. So you need to focus on basically three things. First is the bid that you we will learn later. Now the placement, and third thing is the relevance score. Relevance score is basically what I told you, that you have nothing to do here. You can do, what you can do is you can create good content, and the Facebook algorithm has, I mean, they have an algorithm that detects the relevance score out of your content. That's automatic, right? So let's start with that. Now, in Facebook, we have different types of bidding models. So the thing is, Facebook basically charge you for an ad in two ways. The first is the CPM, which is basically cost per mille. It here it charge you per thousand impressions. That if you pay this much of money, then we will show your ad to 1,000 people. That is basically you are paying for impression. Per click, that is commonly known as. So what happens in CPC? You don't have to pay for an impression. Whenever someone is clicking on your ad, then only you'll have to pay Facebook for that. So these are basically the two bidding models that Facebook have. Now, what the results you can draw out of it? So I mean, it's really important to measure the results, right? So we have different types of terms just to measure the results, like the CPL. CPL is basically cost per lead, that how much lead that you are generating out of a campaign. Then the next thing is the CPF. The CPF is basically cost per fan. And there is another thing that is not mentioned in my PPT, that is CPA. What CPA is? This is basically cost per acquisition. Now you will ask me, how do I calculate the CPA or CPL? So it's basically very easy. Suppose you are paying 1,000 rupees for an ad. So your total spending is 1,000 rupees, and you are getting, like, assume that you are getting 100 subscribers from that ad. So you are getting basically 100 subscribers and you are paying 1000 rupees for them. So basically you'll have to divide 1000 by 10, that how much you are paying divided by how much customer that you are getting or how much lead that you are generating from that ad. So 1000 divided by 100 is 10. So here your cost per acquisition is 10. So what does it mean? That you are paying 10 rupees to acquire a single customer, right? So your cost per acquisition, that is the cost per customer, is 10 rupees. So that's how we calculate the CPA or CPL or CPF. That's basically the same thing, and depends on the campaign. We, I mean, use different types of terminology, but the calculation procedure is same. Now let's look at the business objectives here. So in Facebook, you have, I mean, a multiple wide range of objectives there. So from raising the brand awareness, you can generate leads, you can drive online sales, or you can promote your application also. So all these are there. I have a screenshot there. Basically, I was planning to show you a live demo, but as we don't have that much time, so I mean, skipping that, and I have some screenshots there. I will show you that to just get, I mean, a brief overview or an idea about that. Right. So the next thing is how to create an ad. So this is basically a Facebook profile. So you can see that create option there. Right. You'll have to click on that, and there you will show an option called ad. So by clicking on that ad, you can, I mean, just start creating your own advertisement in Facebook. So just go to that create option and click on the ad option. There is another way. If you have a business manager account in Facebook, you can use that also to create an create an advertise in Facebook. But if you don't have a business manager account, don't worry. Using a simple account in Facebook, you can also create that I have shown you here. Right. Now the next thing is, what are the campaign objectives? Whenever you will click on the ad, button, they will automatically redirect you to this page. So in this page, what you can see here is there are different types of campaign objectives. So why you are creating that ad? So Facebook will ask. So you can select anything out of here. You can create a brand awareness campaign, or you can just, conversion is basically sales. If you want to sell online, then you'll have to choose this one, that conversion, right? So you can select any campaign. That's, related to your business, depends on your business. You will have to select a campaign from here. Now the next thing is, here I have mapped the business objectives with the campaign objectives. Like, let me give you an example. Like, if you want to raise brand awareness, then you will get the reach, you will get the engagement, and you will get the video views. You will not, you will not going to sell anything in a brand awareness campaign. If you want to sell something, then you have to select this one. Drive online sales. This will, the campaign objectives will be to generate traffic, to conversion. You can, convert someone to your customer. You can also, product catalog sales option is also there. So you can select any option, depends on your business. Now let's have some example, right? So this is an advertising campaign of in Facebook by the IIT Bombay executive class. So what you can see there, like what kind of campaign it is. So you can see here that they have a website, and if you click this button, this learn more button, so it will directly take you to their website, to the IIT Bombay's website or their page somewhere. So what they are doing here, they are trying to generate traffic for their website. They are putting this advertisement here, and if you click on this learn more button, they will take you to their website. So basically they are, driving the sales, not driving the sales, pardon me. They are basically just increasing their traffic. So they are getting more and more traffic to their website. Like, okay. So the next thing is engagement. So this ad, you can see this ad. So it is basically trying to create an engagement with the audience. So what you can see there, this is called the call to action button. Like, you can see the ad, and what action can you take. So you can take your action using that button. So that's why this button is basically called the call to action button, or CTA. So here, the the goal of that website is to like their page, is to I mean, get their page liked by you. So they want you to like the page. That's the, I mean, the objective of their advertising. So what we can say from here, that they are basically trying to create an engagement. They are not selling me anything, right? They just want me to like their page. So basically they want the engagement. This app, you can see that this is basically to just install the app. If you click here, it will redirect you to the Google Play Store, and this is basically to increase the, I mean, installation rate of your application. You can create your ad for that also, right? And here, pardon me. So here you can see that this is for the video view. You click on that button, or if your autoplay is on, then it will automatically, the video will get started, and you will show that video. Their primary objective is to get the view on their video. So that's why they are putting the ad here. So you'll have to understand the reason. You'll have to understand the objectives of your campaign, right? So if you don't have any objective, so it's, I mean, it will be of no use to put an ad here. First you need to figure out your objective, why you are creating that ad, right? That, as you can see there, that this is basically a lead generation form. They have a website, and if you click the book now button, they will ask you for some details like your phone number, your mail ID. So they are basically generating leads. And if you, I mean, if after you are giving that, I mean, the details of yourself, your name, your phone number, you will get a call from them on the next day or after some days. So you have always seen this type of lead generation form in many websites. You can typically see that in the coaching institutions website, right? So if you have visited any coaching institutions website, so they will ask you to give your details there. So if you put the details there, they will call you on the next day. So that is basically lead generation. They are getting the leads from that form, right? Now let's move on to the next example. This is basically the website conversion. This is a part of the lead generation plan. As you can see here, I have put a screenshot there that you give me your name, mobile number, and email ID and register now. Like after a few days, they will send you, I mean, different emails on your mail ID. They might call you on your phone number. So what they are basically doing, they are capturing audience data here. Okay. So that was, I mean, a few examples. So now let's move on to the topic that what type of audience you can create on Facebook. So Facebook basically provide you with the option to create three types of audience. The first is the core audience, then the custom audience, and the lookalike audience. So how they work, we will learn that. Now, let's start with the core audience. Core audience is basically, you can select your audience. You can select your audience from the audience that are available on Facebook based on different types of, I mean, attributes like their demographics, their interests or behaviors. You can select based on that. Like if you want to select the demographics, like if you want to select a certain age group, 20 to 30, so Facebook provides you that option to do that. You can select based on your demographics or gender or interest, like someone is interested in sports, so you can easily target that, because Facebook typically have more data. I mean, most of your social media data is with Facebook. So they will create, I mean, an audience for you, a custom audience that I will, I mean, tell you later. So they can create an audience for you. So as we know that Facebook knows more than me. I mean, what I know about myself, Facebook know more than that. So that is basically the thing here. You can select your location. Suppose you have a business in India, then there is no point in creating an ad and showing that to someone who belongs to the US, right? So if you have, I mean, a business in Kolkata, then you would definitely would try to show that ad to people around Kolkata, right? You will not show that ad to someone who is in Delhi. So you need to select your location. You need to, I mean, streamline your operation to whom you do want to show your ad to, right? So you need to select your audience, and that's, I mean, a vital part. That's a very important thing, that to select your proper audience, that whom do you want to see your ad. Now the next thing is you can also create custom audience. So how to do that? If you have any CRM data, CRM, I mean, if you have a CRM tool, CRM is basically customer relationship management tool. So there are different CRM tools available at business. like the Salesforce or SAP. So if you have this type of CRM tool, so you have certain types of customer data in your CRM tool or your database. So you can use that data also, and you can show that ad to those peoples only, right? Like, I will only show this advertisement to my subscribers. So if you have a subscriber list, Facebook provide you the option to upload your subscriber list onto their network or database, and their algorithm will do something. They will try to find out a match. I mean, if you have 100 people's data, and Facebook will try to match them with the data that Facebook has in their database. So like if you have 100 subscriber list and you uploaded that to Facebook's network, and Facebook will tell you that within that 100 people, 70 people, we have found 70 people on Facebook. So you can target those 70 people. So your ad will be only, I mean, shown to them, right? So you can target specific audience. I mean, if you have any customized audience, you can target them. Now the next thing is you can create different types of custom audience here, as we have already told you that you can upload your file, if you can upload your app activity there, everything, basically the technical thing. And what are the look like audience? So if you have, I mean, a custom audience, and you can select that option also. Facebook will take your data, and they will try to find the similar type of people on the Facebook site. Like someone is interested in sports, if you have some customers data, those who are interested in sports, so Facebook will try to find the similar types of audience, like those people who are interested in sports in their network, and they will show your ad to those people also. So if you want to create, I mean, if you have any customer data and if you want to create some look-alike audience, then you can select this option. Okay. So now the next thing is the ad formats. So what types of ad formats are available in Facebook? Like, there are typically 4 types of ad formats that you can get here in Facebook. So I will discuss them one by one. So the first thing is the single image ad. The single image ad is basically, I mean, a single image will be there and some text will be there. So this is the cheapest available, I mean, the format available in Facebook. This is the cheapest one, right? If you are, I mean, paying for an ad, so this will be the cheapest one for you. Now the next thing is the video ad. So you can put some video there. So Facebook will, I mean, add that video in your advertisement. So this is the video ad. I hope you have all, I mean, every one of you have seen some, I mean, video ads or text ad, this type of ads. So just, I mean, let me tell you what they are called. So these are called the video ad format. Now the next thing is the carousel ads format, and this is the most popular ad format of Facebook. This is the most popular one, right? So what happens there? You can select multiple images there, and you can, I mean, if you just slide the screen, so they will show you multiple images. So why, I mean, this is the most popular one because different brands use that to showcase different types of products, and different brands are under their umbrella. Like if you see the, I mean, the Mintra ad, Mintra will show you 10 images of different types of clothing in a single ad. So they basically, what they are doing, they are demonstrating 10 different types of, I mean, fashionable clothes in a single ad. So that's why this ad format is the most, I mean, popular one within the Facebook's network. So the next thing is the slideshow ad. This is basically to tell a story. This is basically quite similar to the the carousel ad, but the only difference is that you don't have to slide the screen. It will, I mean, show you the next picture automatically, just like the slideshow mode that is available on PowerPoint. So it's like a slideshow will be playing there, and you can always add some text in that advertisement. So these are basically the ad format. And now I will tell you about the placement options. So what types of placement options is available here? So the thing is, in Facebook's ad manager, you can also put ads for Instagram. Like you can select different types of placement options. Like you can select to show your ads on the news feed, on the mobile news feed, or in the right column. Right column is basically if you open Facebook in, I mean, laptop or desktop browser, then you can see that there is a right hand corner, there is a column. And what Facebook do, they, I mean, put ads on that column. So you can select any placement options. You can select Instagram, mobile, or the audience network. The audience network is basically the applications that are under the umbrella of Facebook. I mean, you can see different types of applications are available in Facebook. So you can put your advertisement on there also. So the final part here is the budgeting part. That's the final step here. So the how to do the budgeting. I mean, how to spend your budget wisely. Right. So you can select your budget. So there are basically, I mean, there are typically two types of budget selection procedure. The first thing is you can select it as a daily budget. Like as you can see here, the daily budget is 500. So Facebook will show you up to that. So if your daily budget is exhausted, then Facebook will not show your ad. Just let me give you an example. Suppose your bid was 50 rupees per ad. So that means you will pay 50 rupees per ad, and your daily budget is 500 rupees. So the thing is, Facebook will show you the ads 10 times only. After your daily budget is exhausted, Facebook will not show your ad. Now, if you want to schedule something, like if you want to show your ad in a specific time of the day, then you can select that also here. Like you can select a start or end date and the time also. So the what Facebook will do, they will, I mean, schedule your ad within that time limit. Like if I want to show you my ad only on Sunday, then I can schedule it from. As you can see it here, we can schedule it here. It's not a big deal. You just go and try to do that, then you'll be easily able to do that. Now, another thing is the lifetime budget. So as I told you, if you don't select the daily budget, you can also select the lifetime budget also. Lifetime budget is basically what you want to pay for that ad. What the total amount that you want to pay for that ad. Like in daily budget, what was happening that you are paying 500 rupees a day. But unlike that, in lifetime budget, you are paying 14,000 rupees and that's all. You will not spend anything extra on that ad. So what Facebook will do, they will show your ad up to that amount got exhausted. Up to that, Facebook will show your ad. Here also you'll get the scheduling option. So you can schedule your ad also here. Now, how Facebook charge you? So as I already told you, there are basically two types of things. That the cost per mille, that is the CPM, and the cost per. So as I told you that cost per mille, Facebook will charge you for impressions. That if they are showing this ad to 1,000 people, Facebook will charge you for. Like if they will charge you per impression. Suppose like the typical option there is they ask you to pay for every 1,000 impressions. So pay me this much of money and I will show your ad to 1,000 people. That is CPM or cost per million. And the another thing is this is the the most popular one. This is the cost per click. What happens here? They will not charge you for impressions. Whenever an audience click on an ad, then the business owner, they will be charged. So if I have created an advertisement and you were seeing that advertisement and you clicked on that advertisement and move on to my page, then I will be charged for that. So here Facebook is charging per click, not per impression. And how you will know, how you will get to know that on which terms you will be charged. So after creating all these things, in the end you can see it here in the Facebook ads manager that the Facebook algorithm decides that is basically based on your campaign objective, right? So it depends on your campaign objective. If you are putting some ad for sales promotion, then they will basically charge you for cost per click. And if you are doing it for brand awareness, then they will charge you for cost per impression. So it basically depends on your business objective, right? So you can see it here in the end after after you are done with all this. So now the last part here is how to schedule ad. So the ad scheduling works like that after selecting your budget, you can schedule your ad here. And the most important thing is you can select it here that run advertisement all the time, or you can select it to run for a specific time. Like let me give you an example. suppose your college is organizing a seminar and they want people to join that seminar. So they have created a Facebook advertisement. So tell me one thing. I mean, is there any ad once the the seminar? What I will do if what would be my benefit if I show the ad after the seminar got over? So you need to schedule the ad before the seminar, right? Not after the seminar. So for that purpose, you will have to select this scheduling option. So here you can run the advertisement on a specific schedule, or you can also run the advertisement all the time. So you have both the options available here. And after you are done with everything, scheduling everything, then you'll have to go to the billing option, pay for your advertisement and click on the submit option. Then bingo, your first Facebook advertisement will be activated. And it's not a very difficult thing. Let me tell you, it's quite easy. But don't go, after the process. The process is easy, but the objective, how you are doing it and why you are doing it, that's the most important thing. Anybody can create a Facebook ad, but everyone doesn't have that much of expertise to just analyze the business and create and make an ad profitable. So as the next generation leaders or managers, it's expected from you to go deep down into the business part. Don't go for the process. The process is, process is the most easier part. The most important thing is the business application, how you are integrating that to your business. That is expected from you. So I think that was the presentation from my end. Now, this is the question and answer round. If you have any questions out of it, if you have any doubt, you can ask me here. I will try to, answer your question.
Okay, it was overall a very nice presentation. Thank you, Mr. Das. Now, I will request our participant, if you have any question, you can raise your hand and you can ask question to Mr. Das directly. He is a vastly experienced in this field. So if you have any question regarding this online ads procedure and techniques and whatever he has said, he has given a lot of information about this, and it will be a very useful information in future, because in future I hope that these things we have to go through, especially the management students as well as the technical students. So both BB and BCA, both students, they should know this thing. So if you have any query, any doubt, you can ask. You can ask to Mr. Das directly. You can raise your hand. You look, you have option raising your hand. You can raise your hand, and we will allow you to ask question on it. I expect that you should have some question. Yeah. So I'm getting that. Yes. Shoimantik, you ask question. You ask question. You unmute yourself and ask question.
Good evening, sir. Sir, my question is that if we are directly using the social medias for our advertisement and all those, so why don't they give the free trial option? Because as all of us know that it's quite difficult for us to advertise on the first go, and if we just waste few monies, then the parents, or we will be feeling very much low of moral, because in today's world wasting money is like wasting the most important thing. So why don't they provide us with a free trial, because it will be helpful for us, and uh, we can also be knowing how to make the ads. Do they give it, or
I got your
it's not
point,
possible?
Mantik, and that is basically a very interesting question. That why don't they, provide everyone a free trial? So why they don't do it? The main reason behind this is basically they don't want to create junk. Like if they provide you to create a trial version, if they give you to create a trial version of your ad, and if they publish the ad in their network, then what will happen? Everybody here will use that option, like, and people have a tendency to misuse that option. So they will create different types of not related ads and many junk things, like, so that's why they don't allow you to create, I mean, a free trial version of advertisement, so you can anytime use that organic promotion thing, right? That they don't charge you for creating a profile, a business account or anything. They charge you for the paid advertisement, that basically to, I mean, to not allow people to create junk things, and to, I mean, to just contaminate, or I should say that to just contaminate their network, so people will just misuse that thing, so that's why they don't allow it.
Thank you. Sure. So, Shaimantik, we hope that you have got your answer. Now, there is a question from K. Sarvaboivav. Vaibhav, you can ask the question.
Good evening, sir. Sir, as you have told that if we have no followers or we have no subscribers, then there is no problem at all. But sir, then how will the customers will know about my brand? And if I am also doing the branding portion also, then how will the customers will try to analyze my product? Because if because people choose that product which have more subscribers or which have more market which has more they are showing the advertisement.
So that's first thing that I need to tell you, that it's, I mean, there is some misunderstanding from your part, because I have never said that you don't, then it will be of no subscriber.
Just
What happens?
can you sir, can you just repeat it? I mean, your voice was breaking. Just repeat it, please. Okay. Okay.
Thing is, it's not like that you don't need subscribers. You definitely need subscribers. Otherwise, you can't create that engagement with your audience. If you don't have any subscribers, then you can't promote your business, right? The thing is, don't go for passive subscribers. And the thing is, what thing people do wrongly is, after creating an account, they start, I mean, sending the link to different people. So I have created an account and I will start to spam other my friends and relatives that please subscribe my channel, please subscribe my channel, and there is nothing in that channel. You have, I mean, hardly there is 2 or 3 videos or 2 or 3 content. So first try to create a content pool, and then go for acquiring the followers or subscribers. As just let me tell you, let me show you one thing here. So the third point of my, I mean, tip was to build a connection. But before that, you need to create content. Someone is visiting your page or your YouTube page, YouTube channel, and if there is nothing, there is one video, then why should they, I mean, subscribe the channel? They will not. So first try to create a content pool. Try to create 10 or 15 contents, and then go for, I mean, then go for acquiring subscribers to follow. And one another thing that I need to tell here is, as I told you about the engagement rate, sometimes what happens, people tell their friends or relatives that please subscribe my channel, but that people is hardly on YouTube. You have just subscribed, I mean, you have just asked him to subscribe your channel, and as he is your friend or relative, he has subscribed the channel, but he doesn't spend some time, I mean, any time in YouTube. So what will happen? You have 100 subscribers, but you will get 10 or 5 likes in your video or in your content. So their algorithm will just identify that this person has 1,000 followers, but still he is, I mean, getting 10 or 15 likes in his content. So this is not a good content. They will infer that your content is not good, and they will, I mean, decrease your reach. They will not show your content to other people. So what we can do, we can try to acquire active subscribers or active followers, those people who will like my content, who will share my content. So if I have 20 subscribers and out of that only 15 people are sharing or liking my content, then Facebook, what their algorithm will understand that this is a fantastic content, because out of 20, 15 people are liking that. So your engagement rate is quite high. So that's why I was telling you that go for that engagement rate. Don't go for passive subscribers or followers. Your, I mean, followers or subscribers count will not get you anything.
Okay. So, Vaibhav, hope you have got your answer. Anybody have any more question? From our panelists also, if you have any question, you can ask to Mr. Dash. Okay, I'm saying that. Yes, Sachin. Sachin, you can ask.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good.
So my question is that suppose if I want to make an ad, so now I don't have any profile. Right now I'm in BBA. So if I see LinkedIn, I will say that there are many people who have done MBA and from reputed college. Because clearly, profile matters for increasing the followers.
In case of LinkedIn, it really matters. So I just it was in the first tip that I told you that try to complete your profile and add every detail. Like if you are saying on LinkedIn, it's really very important for you people, the BBA and the BCA students, to create a LinkedIn profile and to be active on LinkedIn. The thing is, what you should start with completing your profile. There are multiple sections, so try to complete your profile. So if you're complete with, I mean, if your profile is complete, then your reach will get increased, right? And also try to create content there. Yeah. You don't be a passive user of LinkedIn. Try to create content. If you have, I mean, you have got some achievement, you have something to tell, you have some seminar or anything in your college going on, try to share that with multiple people. So your activity is basically important for that relevance score that I told you. So that depends on your activity.
So suppose I'm not having the profile, but having the best content. So is I will achieve my goal or not?
No, without a profile, you can't do anything. Yeah. First thing is you need to create a profile. And if you are telling that you don't have a good profile, if you're, I mean, if I, what I am getting is you are trying to say that if you don't have a good profile and you have a good content. So
Yeah.
basically, there is no such prototype of good profile, right? So I mean, there is no some, I mean, copybook type of this is a good profile or this is not. It's based on experience. If you don't have, I mean, a foreign degree or any a good work experience, that doesn't actually matter. If you are creating content, so sometimes how, I mean, in MNC, sometimes we hire people based on their activity. Like if you are a web designer, so I will go to your, I mean, Instagram page and I will see what type of designs you are doing there. So that's basically you can use your LinkedIn profile as a portfolio of your work.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Sachin. Okay, we have another small question from Urdesh Pal. He has asked that what is the full form of B2C and B2B?
Let me tell you, B2B is basically business to business, and B2C is business to customer. Like Flipkart, if you are purchasing something from Flipkart, so Flipkart will sell it directly to their customers. Customer means the common people. So you can purchase from Flipkart. But there are certain companies like that. I work in TCS. TCS is a B2B company. If you want to, I mean, they sell their services to different types of businesses. They don't sell to common people, or they don't sell to, that's why they don't do any, I mean, advertisement in Facebook. In B2B, we do advertisement in Twitter and LinkedIn. So B2B is basically I have a business and I am selling my solution to another business. And B2C is I have a business and I am selling this to customers or consumers or common people. That's the difference.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So I hope you don't have any more question. So it was really a very nice session, nice and informative session for our students as well as for us. Thank you, Mr. Dash. We hope we will meet very soon with some another topic, some other topic, okay, which will be very helpful for them also. Thank you for joining us. Good night. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night to everybody. Thank you.